Okay, folks, you know what time it is. Time to troll kids' books. Yeah. Okay, today's story is a favorite of mine from when I was a child, but now I'm going to fuck it up completely. It's called Verdy. I may or may not take pictures and put it up on my video. If I don't, well, fucking sucks for you, doesn't it? Okay, Verdy. It's about a snake who doesn't want to turn green. Here we go. On a small tropical island, the sun rose high above the steamy jungle. A mother python was sending her hatchlings out into the forest the way all mother pythons do. Grow up big and green, as green as the tree's leaves. Now, I know this is a snake, but that's just a terrible fucking mother. You don't send babies out on their own. I mean, that's the equivalent of some, redneck woman popping out 6 kids and then saying, go do stuff in the fucking forest, yeah, or something, something weird like that. But, yeah, it's not setting a good example for kids. What if they go, outside and then, get covered in green paint because they think that's what they're supposed to do? Because this is for small kids. Or, I don't know, 2 second graders. I don't know. I don't know, okay? Let's see. Where did I leave off? She called to her little yellow babies as they happily scattered among the trees. But Verdy dawdled. He was proud. He was proudly eyeing his bright yellow skin. He especially liked the bold stripes that zigzagged down his back. Why the hurry to grow up big and green, he wondered. Maybe some of the older snakes in the jungle could tell him. Verdy ventured to the treetops to look for them. Okay, if you know my last book, you know that this probably won't sound very well. I mean, this book has a lot of very fucked up bits in it. Here we go. Ambles, Aggie, and Ribbon were lazing on some branches nearby. Verdy peered at their droopy green bodies. It's not polite to stare, chided Aggie. What a bitch. He was just looking. Looking's free. Ambles burped and groaned. Disgusting. It's taken nearly 4 weeks for that last lizard to digest. I surely do like lizards, but lizards don't like me. Maybe because you fucking eat them. You ever thought of that? Or maybe it means she's having, farting problems from the lizard. I don't know. Either way, it's kind of gross. Why don't lizards like you? Asked Verdy. See, asking a simple question, wanting to know. Don't interrupt. See, the fucking asshole snake is just yelling at this little kid snake. That's wonderful. Dear me, whined Aggie. If I don't shed soon, this itchy skin will drive me bananas. Do snakes even know what bananas are? I think the little yellow snakes may try to fuck them because they look like, tiny little yellow snakes. But I don't know. Verdy tapped into him with his tail as he waited to speak. Okay, that's a common thing you do. Tapping your fingers, tapping your foot. Stop that, Verdy. It makes me nervous. Now that reminds me. I went to an old folks home once, and I was whistling. And one of the old people go, "Stop that!" Ah! Like a parrot. Because apparently old folks always screech like parrots. I don't know if that's something they all do, but every single old person I met squawks like a parrot. Like someone spliced into their DNA. Besides, you'll never grow up to be properly green, always interrupting and constantly fidgeting. Why are they always so, you gotta be green, you gotta be green? What if he doesn't want to be green? Seriously. And he doesn't, so, Verdy couldn't imagine being in such a hurry to be like them, and he really wanted to keep his sporty stripes, because stripes are so fucking sporty. Hoping to find snakes that weren't so boring, Verdy slipped away. Like a fucking snake. Dozer was snoring. Wow. Fucking great writing. Dozer was snoring. I mean, I thought his name was Dozer for some other reason, but it turns out his name was Dozer because he snores. Because he sleeps. Wow. I don't know how they came up with that, but that's fucking amazing. Dozer was snoring in a tree, not far from the others. Hello, said Verdy. Do you want to climb trees with me? I'm tired, Dozer growled. Go do a few laps around the jungle, okay? The jungles are huge, and this snake isn't that big. So this... basically, this other snake is telling him to go fuck himself. Verdy's heart sank. Greens were not only lazy and boring, they were rude. Well, duh, snakes try to bite at you. All of them are rude. At the top of a very tall tree, Verdy gripped one branch with his tail, and there were his little snake jaws. Oh, this isn't going to end well. I think Verdy Verdy may be ending it. I will never be lazy, boring, or green, he thought. What? Yeah, totally sounds like he's about to go kill himself. I will jump and climb and keep moving so fast that I will stay yellow and striped forever. Still sounds like a delusional suicidal man. Then Verdy let go. Whoosh, and it's just a picture of him flipping through the air. It's really interesting. Looks like he's about to die. From a distance, the Greens watched. Know how he's calling them the Greens? You know, like someone will call them, you know, call another group of people the Blacks, or, you know, the Yellows, or the, you know, the Reds, who will throw a hatchet at you. No. Fucking racism at its finest. From a distance, the Greens watched. Oh my, they chorused. So they all talk at the same time. I'm sure a second grader knows what that means. Ribbon shook his head. At this rate, he'll be lucky to make it to his first molt. Aggie nodded. And he's likely to put an eye out. Why do all old people say, and you'll put your eye out? Whatever. Umbles moaned. He may not live to turn green. So this is a book about snakes. And it's making kids face their own mortality through this snake's eye. That's brilliant. But one day, Verdy's skin began to peel, revealing a pale green stripe stretching along his whole body. Gack! He gasped. How can this be? I'm the speediest snake in the jungle, and I'm still turning green. He raced down to the river, grabbing up a mouthful of rough leaves. What's he gonna do with those leaves? I am so excited to find out. Verdy flung himself into the water. If I can't run this green off, I'll scrub it off, he thought. So now it's a picture of him scrubbing his ass as hard as he can with leaves. His frantic splashing caught the eye of a large bottom feeder cruising in the murky depths. Yum, the old fish hummed. Lunch. Oh, I don't think he's going to make it. Before the fish could haul Verdy under, the frightened snake bit him on the nose. Do snakes even have noses? I don't know, but I know they can't do this. A poo! With a blast of his rubbery lips, the great fish sneezed, sending Verdy in the air. Now, fucking fish cannot fucking sneeze. They can't do that. That's not something fish can do. Okay? This book needs to check its facts, and I'll comment more about that after I finish. Slapping onto the soggy shore, Verdy skidded out of reach. Woo, that was close, he sputtered. Every inch of his body was covered with wet, gloppy mud. Kind of lumpy. Kind of brown. It sure beats being green. He left the mud on. So now he's, going across the area, kind of looking like a moving turd. Really weird. But the soft brown muck dried into a hard gray shell, and Verdy could barely move. How's he gonna get out of this one, gang? If he even budged, the stuff cracked off in jagged chunks, and each piece fell away. Verdy could see that his body was even greener than before. This is terrible, cried Verdy. He pictured himself hanging around in droopy loops, itching, complaining, and worrying all day like the Greens. Well, if you put an eye out, you're gonna worry. He looked up into the sky, where the sun blazed a beautiful yellow, just the color he used to be. Then he pulled a vine to the top of the tree. Oh, he's going to try to kill himself again. Wow, it's just encouraging kids to try to kill themselves. This is awful. Launching himself into a treetop, Verdy startled a flock of colorful birds. He became dizzy with delight, sure the bright sun and his lofty speed would turn him golden again. What is his logic? Okay, so I know he's a snake, but he's obviously intelligent because he's talking, and I'm pretty sure, if the author chose to give him intelligence, he didn't make him retarded, because this pretty much is a retarded snake. It's like, if I get near the sun, I'll turn yellow, like the sun. Whatever. It's like, if I go near the pavement, I'll turn fucking black, like the pavement. And then I'll be able to dance well. In his joy, Verdy forgot he would fall back to earth. Whippity, whippity, whip, flap, wham. Plumbing through the trees, Verdy landed in a crooked sprawl across a log on the forest floor. He couldn't move. Help, he croaked. And now there's this really fucked up picture of this snake, like, half dead over a branch. Crazy. Let's see. We got a couple more pages to go, guys. As usual, the Greens have been watching Verdy's antics. They moved quickly to where he lay, Didn't we say we'd come to this? Umble said, shaking his head. Aggie sighed. Lucky thing, he's still got 2 good eyes. They gently lifted Verdy up to a safer place, where they could watch over him while he healed. Neatly splinted to a branch, Verdy had no choice but to listen to the greens as they gabbed. I was about to say, why does it say grabbed? Remember I used to streak across the forest floor, Ribbon asked. Quick as lightning, Aggie answered. And I climbed giant trees like they were nothing. They grew taller then, you know. Actually, I think the trees would be taller now, because time has passed, but I don't know how trees work in Snake Land. The things I dared to run down and swallow. Wow, that phrase needs no joke. That's a joke all on itself. Umbles bragged, wild boars were no match for me. So Umbles apparently blew wild boars. Interesting. Verdy was astonished. You used to run, climb, and hunt giant pigs? What happened? Ribbon crashed, just like you did, Aggie replied, and I took a terrible fall and almost put out my eye. Then Umbles here nearly choked to death. Now we all prefer the quiet life, a warm perch, a little sunshine, and the occasional good meal. The greens rambled about their days of glory, and Verdy settled in on his branch. Finally, one afternoon, Umbles said, looks like you're ready to go again. He carefully untied Verdy from the branch. I wonder what they did to him while he was tied up. They probably don't mention that part. You are welcome to come with us, said Aggie. Ribbon agreed. The 3 greens, once again, greens. They can't say the 3 older snakes. You gotta point out what color their skin is. You just gotta. The 3 greens slipped quietly back into the forest. Verdy wasn't ready to join them. He wasn't sure he wanted to go, so he just stretched and stayed put until the sun went down. He listened to the forest come alive. Now there's a picture showing how animals blend in with their environment. Wonderful. Time passed. The sun and the moon took turns in the sky. Verdy marveled as the moon grew thinner every night. Then he watched patiently as it slowly grew round again. He wondered why he hadn't noticed that before. So apparently Verdy's retarded, because he can't look in the sky. Now, I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I realized that the sun grew bigger, I mean, the moon grew bigger and it got smaller, okay? It didn't take me till I was grown up to realize that happened, which Verdy's an adult snake now, so that works. It's a good analogy or whatever. Verdy became so green that he blended perfectly with the leaves. He was so still that other creatures walked right by without seeing him. One fine morning, as Verdy basked in the sunshine, 2 small yellow snakes approached. They tapped and fidgeted as they stared. Get a load of that old green guy, one of them whispered. Do you think he ever moves? The other snickered. I seriously doubt it. Wow, what assholes! Are all little baby snakes complete douchebag tools? Maybe. They're just like I used to be, thought Verdy, a douchebag tool. And now I'm what I was afraid to be. He looked at his big green body and slowly smiled. How would you like to climb trees with me? So Verdy's going to molest these little kids. With you, the yellows were astounded. Yellows. See, once again, gotta tell them what the color of their skin are. I'll even show you my fancy figure 8. Yeah, I think that means dick. Verdy replied, though he's a little worried about putting his eye out. Okay, with the practice, the other 3 snakes performed a perfect triple figure 8. Leaping and looping with his little sharp friends, Verdy laughed. I may be big and very green, but I'm still me. And that was me trolling the fuck out of this book. Now, this book has snake facts. None of them state that snakes can talk or that, they molest each other, but I don't know. Goodbye.